Hello, people. We are here with the Hillbillies and Camo Caps podcast. I am Mix, and
Nix.
that's Nick's over there. Oh God. Okay, well, no, it's fine. I'll just pass the microphone back and forth, I suppose. So let's just start by saying Nick is much more experienced than I am in RC and a lot of things, pretty much. So what I like to do first in this first episode here is we're going to talk about which cars we own and where we bought it. Okay, so we were going to set up the table facing this way, but we set up facing this way. But you can see Nick's trucks over there. Would you like to talk about what you got? Oh, yeah.
Which one? Because they're both over there.
Go for both.
Alright, so the first one I got over there is an Axial Wraith. It's the newest one that I have recently got. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it does what it does. I'm pretty impressed with Axial's performance and all that.
Where'd you get it?
Hobbytown, USA in Fort Collins.
Alright, what else have you got over there?
I got a...
So, wait, we're getting a lot of noise from you, like messing with it. Just hold on. Alright.
Okay, and the second one I got over there is the Tamiya high lift F350. Not stock whatsoever.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later in the show. And sorry to cut you off. I know you have a lot more cars, but I've got the Lossy one. What is it? What scale is it there? 1/18 scale crawler, and then I've got my 16 scale. I think. No, I'm a liar. 10 scale. I don't know what I'm talking about. And that's why Nick is more experienced than I am, and it's a honcho, and it's in the other room. So, yeah, alright, so let's get into it. This is the first episode with some news. So first up, we got Axial news, and in May, I don't know if you know this, Nick, but Axial released a Jeep Wrangler G6 Falken edition. Axial states that it is an all-terrain and features a molded interior with a steering wheel, poison spider rock brawler front bumper, a dovetail, built-in cage, roof-mounted light bar with no lights included, and it's got some like wild boar drive shafts and some Falken Wild Peak tires. It's got a wide range of gearing choices. The overall ratio can be adjusted from 15:1 all the way up to 74:1, and I have no clue what that means. Do you know?
Different speeds. You can get it to do different speeds depending on what your gearing ratio is.
Alright, thank you. The big catch here is that tire production will not start until late this year of 2014. Like other Axial products, it is built on a steel frame with great suspension. And this Jeep could probably win you some crawling contests. Do you have some thoughts on that there?
I believe it's going to be a pretty decent vehicle. All of Axial's vehicles that I've seen them come out with have been pretty good along the lines of, you know, how rugged they could be and all the upgrades and stuff you could do to them. They're a pretty big brand, and you could do a lot of custom work to them like I do with a lot of mine.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, but the thing in this video and like all the other demo videos that bugs me is how the car stays like completely clean no matter what they go through, and it really bugs me there. Okay. And also, which is pretty new, is the 110 scale SCX10 Deadbolt, not to be confused with the AX10 Deadbolt. This features the wild boar drive shafts, a wide variety of gearing choices, a metal frame, light bar, poison spider rock bumper like the Falken edition Jeep, and Trepador tires. Overall, it seems very similar to the Jeep that we talked about earlier, but it's got some changes, like from the AX10.
Yeah, they're all going to be pretty similar, I believe. I mean, Poison Spider is kind of a different brand of them. Like, they have different features on them. Like my Wraith, they make a Wraith Poison Spider as well. Mine's not the Poison Spider edition, mine's just the standard. And the Poison Spider, I believe, comes with bead locks and a few other, more metal things, but that's all stuff you could add on if you wanted something a little cheaper too as well.
Alright, now we're going to switch gears. Yeah. To Traxxas news. So Traxxas has mentioned bringing Formula Off-Road Racing to the X Games in Austin, which occurred on June 8th, which was a couple days ago. The trucks that were raced were equipped with over 600 horsepower engines that could exceed 100 miles an hour, which really isn't too shocking, I suppose. The Traxxas website states that there will be jumps. These trucks will be launching 15 feet into the air and over 150 feet down the track.
Well, that's, Traxxas is getting into a lot of stuff. They got the trophy trucks, which I see them race at, like Baja and stuff like that. Then they got the dragsters that they race up at Bandamere every now and then with the NHRA, and they like to get their name out through these cars, which even their RC versions are pretty quick. They're pretty scaled down to the speed wise of what the actual 1-to-1 scales will pretty much do.
Also mentioned from Traxxas was the TQi Telemetry Expander. It consists of a radio system and a receiver. In order to use this, you'll have to have an iPhone 3rd generation or older, an iPod Touch 3rd or 4th generation, the Traxxas Link app, which is available in the App Store for free, and the TQi transmitter with the docking base. The transmitter will run you about $105 US, and Traxxas has not mentioned about using the app on the iPad because the transmitter has a little dock at the bottom, and you can't really stick an iPad on there, or you might do some damage to something. Also, there is no current Android version of the app. The printer is going insane. Utilizing a 2.4 gigahertz signal, and now with Bluetooth connectivity, the telemetry allows you to monitor and record real-time data from your vehicle. So this goes on to say that it's weather sealed, and you can purchase a GPS module to track real-time speed. You can make changes, blah blah blah, from your iPhone. I really don't even want to read the rest of it because, when I'm out with a crawler, I don't care to be on my phone or staring at a phone with a quote intuitive high definition full color graphical user interface. Just give me the transmitter and I can drive those things until the battery runs out. I'm tired of more excuses to be on your phone. Wow. Nick, what do you have to say?
I see how they're I see how they're trying to make advances and making everything through everybody's phone, so it's just right there. They could just hook it up. But that's not really the point of RC. The point of RC would be, you're actually going to try to control it through an actual remote, which is how I've been doing it with these ones and how I plan on still doing it instead of hooking it up to a phone. Because I frankly believe people are on their phones a little bit excessively, and then they're going to go and put, a hobby that's trying to get you away from them, and you're going to go and slap your phone onto that just to see the speed of it, when really you just look at it going down the road and go, that's fast.
Alright, I had to restart that recording. You might want to restart that one before I get into this story. Okay, so before we get on to Nick's Ford over there, I have... Whoa! Are we going? Alright, I have a final story here. In April, a camera stabilization company named Movi released the Freefly Tero RC car. As a filmmaker myself, you can see that we've got cameras and a stupid Walgreens light over there. As a filmmaker myself, I think it was great to see that Movi has gotten to RC business, and especially they're putting stabilization into their RC kits. The stabilization that this kit implies is truly incredible, as expected from Movi. Their gimbals and octocopters Drones have been used in many movies. The most popular is the TV show Game of Thrones. I believe that it is a custom car from Movi, and it was battery powered, but the spokesperson mentioned that it could go upwards of 50 miles per hour. This little guy will run you down about $5,000 without the gimbal, but to complete the set, you'll be down about $10,000. Thoughts on that?
Just a little bit on, that's quite a bit for a car. I mean, I know you could get, they make actual heavy equipment RC vehicles. I mean, you get track hose, dump trucks and all that. Them will run you about $2,000, mainly in just because they're full steel and the hydraulic systems that they run, because they're full hydraulics. I have not seen the vehicle that you're talking about and all the stuff that may be on it, but I mean, that could be a reasonable price. I don't know, depending on what you're using it for. If you're using it like these, which I don't intentionally break them, but they do break. You're gonna spend $10,000 for something you're gonna run straight into a wall, possibly. That's a lot of money to be spending on something of that scale. I mean, they are a video company, and I could see how their technology is actually going to help some of the things. The technology in these is pretty incredible, some of the stuff you can do. I've seen some pretty remarkable stuff. What I hope to see come out of people that do, the filming and stuff like that is if they could design a camera that's not as expensive as the GoPros, but do the same reliability.
Well, in fact, in the next episode, I kind of talk about that. But there's these things that I just learned about called FPV cameras, and computers freaking out. But they're basically like that, but they're little cameras that can run wirelessly or do whatever really, and people just stick them on their car, go around, film stuff. And that's in the next episode, which who knows when that will come out. But did you have anything else to say after I interrupted you there?
Not really.
Alright. Alright.
We can cover that in the next with our camera
Okay.
setup we've been doing.
So I think we're gonna hold back on the truck just a couple more minutes. We can put that on the ground if you don't. So we're gonna talk about knife of the week / month, however often this episode, these episodes come out. A segment where Nick and I wear the knife of the week and tell you about it. And this week I've got a Cold Steel Counterattack 2 Dagger. You can open that up. Careful, don't lacerate your eye. I just want to watch this. Hold on. Oh, I got it for Christmas. Yeah, it's flat on one side, and it is different. So I haven't really gotten much use out of it, I guess, because I don't really know what I would use it for. It is pretty darn pretty, and the quality is outstanding. This thing will run you about $60 on Amazon. The link will be in the description of this video, much like all the other links.
It's not Pakistani.
What?
It's not Pakistani.
Racist.
Hey. I'm not saying that.
All right. Okay. Yep. All right. Do you want to get your forward over here so then we can stop talking about Pakistanis and whatnot?
Hey, it's name brand knife. You can look at that.
All right. So Nick's gonna get his truck over here. I'm gonna throw this laptop on the ground and we'll regroup in 1 second. Please stand by. And we are back here. Would you mind taking that camera off the tripod there? I'm going to actually use that. So Nick is now stealing my camera, as you can maybe not see, but you can see the camera shaking around like San Francisco earthquake. And here comes the camera right into my beautiful hands. Oh, yeah. All right. Whoa. I'm getting feedback from something or another. Okay. Here we go. So here is his I might hand you the mic here so you can talk about it, because I know absolutely nothing about it since it is your kit. Here you go.
Okay, so here while I power everything up on it. It is, well, the way I have it set it up is an electrical nightmare, but still, it will come as a kit if you do purchase one of these. We need like a swivel stand. Most of the work done on it is pretty much, well, some of it is custom. It's got a full custom bumper, which, it will not come in the kit because I had to fabricate that by hand. When you get the kit, though, it'll come completely in pieces. If this is something that, you wanted to get, you have to buy all the electronics. I'm running a DX3C radio with it. It's pretty good radio. I'm working on hooking some of my other ones up to it so I don't have 5,000 remotes laying everywhere. And, you'll have to do all the electronics and all that. I don't have a screwdriver here to take it apart to show you all the electronics. But inside I got I think 27 turned dirt. It's a Tamiya engine. It's a dirt tuned 27 turn engine to give it a little bit more speed behind it than the standard Tamiya engine it comes with, which I have no idea what it even is. I mean, I did research on it and I couldn't even find out how many turns it was. But it does not come sitting this tall. It comes with tires probably about half the size of these tires here. These are Mickey Thompson Baja Claws TTCs for tough truck competition. You can have them air-filled. Mine are foam-filled at the moment. I'm working on getting them air-filled. They got beadlock wheels. I don't know the exact brand of them. I didn't pay too much attention when I got them. But the lift kit on it is fully custom. Them are all the shackles are cut out of I believe it's aluminum. I'm not sure exactly what gauge or what size it is. But all the suspension upgrade is all hand done, all custom done. The bumper on it is all custom done. It's all made out of steel. That bumper is not going to break whatsoever. I'm running 2 LED light systems in the headlight at the moment. I'm going to put 5 up in the light bar and two in the bumper when I get around to doing that. I just recently put a sun visor on the truck itself. I did that in the last couple days. Just made out of the same thing the suspension is made out of. It's made out of aluminum. Just hammered and cut to what I needed it to be, and then just mounted on with 3 screws. It does have smokestacks in the back of it, which I will be working on hooking up a smoke kit, probably. They do have them. I've looked into getting them. Yeah, it's just something I threw on there just because. It's got everything. It's got a 5th wheel hitch receiver for when I do get the gooseneck trailer made. Right now I just got one. It's got a standard hitch. I do not have that mounted on at the moment. I'm working on upgrading and making it stronger, because I have put a receiver hitch on it before, took it out first day on the trail, it slid off a rock and busted it clean off. Aluminum and JB weld is not what you want to do. If anything, you want to stay away from doing minor fixes with JB weld and stuff like that. You just want to fix it the best you can. Otherwise, like the bumper I have on here now is not going to break. It's all welded. It's all bent steel, hand done, everything. Mud flaps, I believe, are RPM mud flaps. I just stuck them on there because I figured it'd throw more rocks than it does, but it gives a different look to it, I think. Then stuck a kind of a whack job of a license plate on it using a 12 gauge birdshot round expert HV steel, I believe it was. I just cut the expert part off of it and stuck it on there. It's a complete joke, and no way am I an expert with any of this. I just know some stuff here and there. It is a 3-speed transmission. It switches from a little switch I have here on the side of the remote. You can switch it right now. It's in high gear, and you got second, and you got third, which is the lowest gear you possibly could do, which, if you have it in first gear, is good for speed. I mean, it gets stuck pretty easy in first gear because the gears like to slip a lot. You got it in second, it'll do pretty much anything you could want to do that is light off-roading. Switching to third is everything from deep mud all the way up to climbing the steepest grate you possibly could, even though when going uphill you want to go fast. In high gear, it just won't do it. It'll just sit there and make a bunch of noise while it makes you switch it to a different gear and try again. And you know, all the little stuff, the steering was originally mounted up under here. I dropped it down to the front to give it better steering and to help with all that, and it still kind of does. I'm still messing with that a little bit. The body will come unpainted. This is the second paint job it has. I'm not sure if you remember when it had the blue paint job on it, the blue and white paint job. I liked it, but it wasn't exactly, you know, what I wanted to do. And then I decided to paint it black with the ducks and cattails on it, which is more of, you know, what I do and all that. I'm still messing with it. For some reason though, when I sprayed it with clear coat, it auto tinted the windows. The windows you used to be able to see through, they had like a smoke tint to them, but it had some reaction with the clear coat, and now you could barely see through anything on them, which is, it came to me as kind of a shock. But then to get to everything on it, it'll have 2 body pins on the back, which it don't right now in some poorly painted rifles. But when you open it up, you got your battery under there, and then all your switches. There's a red LED. It's not long enough to reach the back, so it's kind of just hanging there. This is the switch, if I catch it, this switch I use to control the lights on and off, so I could have them on in the truck, you know, still run. Without them, then the main switch is this little sucker right here, and then he's fully powered off, and yeah, he gets okay battery life on him since he's got so much to control. The battery will last a little less than the Wraith, but you know, it's got massive amounts of torque behind it. The truck itself weighs, I don't know, probably about 10-11 pounds, somewhere around in there. I could give him to pull maybe 20-25 pounds. I could hook a chain to him. He's got a little receiver hidden back up in there, and he'll pull it pretty easy. The tires, you know, will squish and start to turn because of the torque, but I haven't broke anything major on him yet. I believe I've broken 2 steering servos, and I think some gears in the transmission from it just having too much power, too much torque behind it, and trying to do something, it just destroys them because they're all plastic gears. I was gonna say something, but I can't remember what it was. But you know, when you go to run it, you know, you'll have to bind everything to the remote and all that. And you know, he does fairly good. He's a pretty good mud vehicle, and he can outpull any vehicle I really strap him to. And you know, I have broken other people's vehicles because they'll run into him. Well, my main concern is that he is a hard body, and I already got some damage on the roof from where he rolled over and kind of slid down the hill on some rocks, and it gouged it out. I haven't put a lot of work into fixing it because I've been working on some other stuff. Some paint's come off here and there, but since it is a hard body, what you got to watch out for is if he rolls, you risk more damage happening to him than, you know, something of a soft body where the body will bend and squish with, you know, the movements and the impact. This will not. This takes all the force. So that's why, you know, it had a standard bumper on it. It's like one of them bull bars where it just pretty much came up and protected the lower stock bumper, which, you know, with the amount I was going to be running him and hitting him into stuff, I needed something that was going to have a little bit more force behind it. And this mounts straight to the frame. It's got 3-point mount to the frame, one underneath to a support. I don't know if you can really see that or not, but it's got the stinger and the full grill guard and all that. It will have a running winch. Right now it's just got, you know, just a little something there, but it will have a running winch like the Wraith has set up. And with the stinger as he sits, you know, I could push smaller vehicles down underneath him and run him over. The main point is, though, is if you're on an angle, it it levels you out when you start going down, but you can start doing more with them. That's pretty much about it. The electronics are pretty stock. The receivers and everything I have in there are their Spectrum receiver. I can't remember the name of it at the moment, but it's the power supply it gives out can only power a 15-turn engine. I was gonna put a 12-turn in it, but when I figured out I have to replace that, I just went with 27-turn to kind of even things out at the moment. Other than that, there's really not much else to it than a little work done here and there.
Alright, I'll switch you. You can hold that, point it right at my face. Alright, so we're gonna wrap this up. We're going on 30 minutes here, so we're gonna wrap it up. This is the first episode of the Hillbillies and Camo Caps podcast. I threw the laptop on the ground, that's why I'm looking down there. Because all I have is a script down there. So, stories and news this week are from rccaraction.com, Traxxas.com, axialracing.com, and geekazine.com. You can also see the knife of the week/month over on Amazon, links are all in the description or in the show notes. And we are NickzAndMikz. Click on the screen anywhere to watch the latest installment of Hillbilly RC, which, if you're watching this right when it comes out, excuse me, I stuck, what are you doing? Anyway, I stuck a little point and shoot on the front of my honcho and drove around, and then we stuck it on the slash, and then I pretty much rolled that thing. Nick wants to make a roll cage because he's the pro with metal. You can see there with his bumper that I was filming for you guys. Alright, so I'm Mix.
And I'm Nick.
And we will see you next time.